Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the unanswered questions and lingering mysteries of Sweet Home Season 3. While Season 3 redeemed itself after a lackluster Season 2, it still fell short of the captivating storytelling and intense action that made Season 1 a great show. Despite this, the latest installment left us with plenty of plot threads to unravel and questions to ponder. From the origin of the monsters to the fate of our beloved characters, we'll be exploring the top unanswered questions that will keep you guessing long after the credits roll. So, let's dive in and explore the mysteries of Sweet Home Season 3. 5. The Monster's Origin. We're diving into one of the big mysteries left hanging at the end of Sweet Home, the true origin of the monsters. Throughout the series, we get glimpses and hints about where these creatures come from, but the show never gives us a straight answer. Here's what we know. Sangwon's transformation is crucial to the story. We see that his infection and evolution are key to the monster outbreak, but the specifics of how this all started are left pretty vague. We also hear about neo-humans, monsters who evolve beyond their initial forms. It's a fascinating concept, but how exactly this evolution happens, or what triggers it, is never fully explained. There are some hints about experiments or supernatural events leading to the monster outbreak, but the show doesn't delve deeply into these theories. So, while we get pieces of the puzzle throughout the series, the origin of the monsters remains shrouded in mystery, leaving us to wonder what really sparked the monster apocalypse in Sweet Home. Hyunsu's powers. Next up, let's talk about the inconsistency of Hyunsu's powers. Throughout Sweet Home, Hyunsu's abilities are both fascinating and, at times, a bit confusing. Hyunsu's powers evolve significantly over the series. Initially, he can heal and turn monster without losing control, like with Isu and Yangsu. This makes sense given his unique position as someone who's both human and monster. However, there are some inconsistencies and unanswered questions about the limits of his powers. For instance, why can Hyunsu transform Yangsu from a slime monster back into a human, but not Tak, who is also a monster? Tak's condition seemed reversible, yet Hyunsu doesn't attempt it. Hyunsu's power to heal and transform seems to fluctuate. He's shown to heal severe injuries and even change monsters back to their human forms. But he doesn't use these abilities consistently across different situations. For instance, why does he not try to convert Eunhyuk, even when he's planning to help Eunyu? This inconsistency raises questions about the full extent of his powers. The show's lack of clarity on Hyunsu's powers leaves us wondering about the true extent of his abilities and the reasons behind their limitations. What are the boundaries of Hyunsu's powers, and why doesn't he always use them consistently? Number 3. Neo-humans' emotions. Can the beings born from monster truly feel anything? Neo-humans, like Eunhyuk, are a unique class of beings in Sweet Home. They've evolved beyond regular monsters but still carry traits from their monstrous origins. Eunhyuk, in particular, is a key figure who grapples with his identity as a neo-human. Throughout the series, Eunhyuk is depicted as being emotionally detached and seemingly incapable of feeling genuine emotions. He often displays a cold and indifferent demeanor, which makes us question whether this is a result of his neo-human nature or if he's suppressing his feelings. Despite occasional moments where Eunhyuk shows a hint of humanity, the show never fully clarifies whether neo-humans, in general, can truly feel emotions or if they're merely mimicking human behavior. For example, Eunhyuk's interactions with Eunyu and Hyunsu suggest he might have some emotional depth, but it's unclear if these are real feelings or just a facade. The show never fully clarifies whether neo-humans can truly feel emotions or just mimicking human behavior. What does it mean for Eunhyuk's character if his emotions are genuine or just a pretense? Number 2. What happened to the other survivors from the stadium? As the series progresses towards its finale, a major concern is the fate of the various survivors who had been holed up in the stadium. By the end of Season 3, the focus shifts heavily towards the central characters and the dramatic final battles. This leaves many questions about the fate of other survivors, both those who were directly involved in the final conflict and those who were more peripheral characters. At the climax of the series, we see some survivors escaping the stadium and making their way to a nearby construction site, where they regroup and attempt to establish a new beginning. However, there is limited information about the ultimate fate of the broader group of survivors who were not directly involved in this last confrontation. Did they manage to find safety in a new place to live, or were they left to face new dangers? Additionally, there's a lack of clarity about the final conditions of some key characters, such as Xianhua and Father Peter, who choose to leave the group and drive away. Their departure is shrouded in mystery, and the series does not provide closure on what happens to them afterward. The show leaves us wondering about the larger implications for the surviving human population. Are they able to establish a new, safe community, or are they still at risk from the lingering threats of monsters and neo-humans? The series concludes with some survivors finding a temporary refuge, but it does not address how they will navigate the future or how they will rebuild their lives in a world that has been fundamentally changed by the events of the series. In short, while the finale provides some answers about the immediate aftermath of the stadium battle, it leaves many questions about the longer-term fate of the surviving characters and the broader implications for their future. Number 1. Chief G, the mystery of her hidden monster. Let's talk about Chief G from Sweet Home, a character who had us all guessing right up until the end. Her story takes some dark and unexpected turns that really caught viewers off guard. In Season 2, things got pretty intense when we discovered that Chief G had a major secret hidden away in the stadium, a monster. And here's the twist: while she was insisting that Sergeant Tak prove he wasn't a monster, she was keeping her own terrifying secret. The initial theory was that the monster might have been her husband, who ended up being killed by Li Yunyu in self-defense after showing signs of turning. But hold on, the real shocker came when it was revealed that the monster was actually Chief G's son, Hyunwoo. Chief G's struggle with her secret is interesting. After the truth comes out, she's faced with a devastating choice. Initially, she tries to end her life, overwhelmed by the guilt and horror of what she's done. But then, in a twist of redemption, she decides to help Sergeant Tak by revealing the secret entrance to the stadium. Despite this act, Chief G's story doesn't get much more screen time after that. In episode 3, she goes into the secret room where her son is kept, choosing to face the consequences of her reckless decisions. So, what happened to Chief G in the end? There's a lot of speculation. Some fans wondered if she might have turned into a monster herself or if her son was going through a cocooning phase like Lee Eun-hyuk. However, given the grim circumstances, it's most likely that Hyunwoo ended up consuming his own mother, just as he did with the other survivors. It's a brutal end to a character who had so much depth and complexity. Chief G's story added a lot of layers to the Sweet Home narrative. Her tragic end underscores the show's dark themes and the lengths people will go to for their loved ones, making her one of the series' most memorable characters. That's it for today's video on the 5 unanswered questions in Sweet Home Season 3. We explored the mysteries that left us scratching our heads, from the origin of the monsters to the fate of our beloved characters. While Season 3 may not have provided all the answers we hoped for, it at least tried to answer some. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. What unanswered questions are still haunting you? If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any other topics or questions you'd like to explore, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.